all the way from Kisumu City. Willis, I hope you're well. What do you have for us this Friday night?
Well, Ashley, I'm well, and there is something that has really impressed me when it comes to that gift of the gab. Muthoni has it. And I think now she has also added some value, in fact, some spice to Friday briefing. Otherwise, as you've said it, it's now that time for us to learn some good English pronunciations. The verb is to pronounce, but the noun form, you say pronunciation, which is what we go to straight at this point. Now, our first word is a noun. And this noun refers to a vehicle that is similar to a bicycle, but with one wheel at the front and two at the back. Many people find themselves saying tricycle. You don't say that. This word is pronounced as tricycle. Tricycle. Remember, we also say bicycle, not bicycle. So don't say tricycle, you say tricycle, bicycle. And that one, you have to get it right always, especially in careers of serious communication. Our second word is a noun also, and you say delusion, delusion, not delusion, not delusion, delusion. Now, this refers to a false belief or opinion about yourself or your situation. Like somebody can talk about paranoid delusions. Now, our third word in the list for this week is an adjective, and this one has two acceptable, or if you like, you can say alternative pronunciations. In the first place, you can say irrefutable. Irrefutable. That cannot be proved wrong, or that cannot be refuted. Irrefutable, but you can also say irre. Irre or irre. Irrefutable, irrefutable. So those are alternative pronunciations of that word. Like you can talk of irrefutable facts or irrefutable evidence. Then we move straight to a word which is a bit tricky, because it's fairly long and not commonly used locally, and this is a noun. So, at home, can you try this before I say the pronunciation? Just try. Well, you say restaurateur, a restaurateur. And a restaurateur is a person who owns a restaurant, or if you like, a restaurant. A person who owns or manages a restaurant or a restaurant is called a restaurateur. Restaurateur. A bit tricky, but I know you can now manage it, courtesy of KTN. Now, we go straight to our next word, which is also an adjective, and this one, many people find themselves saying haughty. Haughty. This adjective, which means arrogant or resentful, you don't say haughty. And you don't say hafty, you say haughty. Haughty with the long sound O. That is the long, low, back sound O. Haughty. A haughty face, a haughty look. So please get it right when you meet it, because good pronunciation, good grammar, and good choice of words help us to do what? To communicate effectively and also clearly. Now we have the next word, which is also an adjective, and it means reddish purple in color. Reddish purple in color. I know somebody with you at home, maybe in the living room, has said magenta. Magenta, no. That G takes the sound J, like a J. You say magenta. Magenta, like you can talk of a magenta dress. Magenta. Then our next one is also a bit tricky. We have pedagogue. Pedagogue. But when you come to this adjective, you have to be very careful. The second G takes the sound J. The first one takes the sound G. So you say pedagogic. This adjective is pronounced pedagogic. Can you try it at home? Pedagogic. So you can talk of pedagogic skills. If you are defeated, then sometimes just ask Ashley Mazuri or Jesse Rogers during Friday briefing they'll give you the exact pronunciation, because I always say they are tough and also hot. So you say pedagogic skills. Don't say pedagogic. Now, our next word also confuses many people. It's also an adjective, and many people say conspicuous. Conspicuous. No, you don't say quas. You say cuous. Cuous. Conspicuous. Like now when you talk of, something that is easy to notice or to see, like when somebody who is very popular is absent at a given place or a meeting, you would say conspicuously missing. Conspicuously. Conspicuous. Not conspicuous the way we said it locally, but you can also talk about a conspicuous absence. So I hope you've got the right pronunciation of this word. Then finally, for our collections of the week, we have this word. How do you say it? If you said deluge, deluge, no, you say deluge. Deluge. So the first E takes the sound E, what we call the pure sound E. Deluge. That is a sudden, very heavy fall of rain or flood. You can talk of the field became a deluge after the heavy rain. A deluge, not deluge, deluge. Sometimes certain stylish pronunciations in English can be very tricky. Somebody can say deluge, deluge. Then you realize that you're talking about something that does not exist in English. That is the English vocabulary. Simply deluge, deluge. Then I would now go straight to those who have also sent in words throughout the week and also tonight. Let me begin with Adams Musena, aka Bounty D of Nairobi. You say luxurious. You say luxury, and this word is very popular on this segment. Luxury, then luxurious. Not luxurious, not luxurious, no. Luxury, luxurious, luxuriant. So Adams Musena, Bounty D, I hope you've got that right together with our viewers. Then we have Agnes Katana of Kongowea, Mombasa. You say menagerie for a collection of wild animals. Menagerie. Then your second word you say quarter, not quarter. Quartercentenary. Quartercentenary. The 400th anniversary is quartercentenary, not quartercentenary. Then we have Lawrence Opio of Migori. In the first place, dear viewers, don't say Lawrence. We find ourselves saying Lawrence, but that is not the way to pronounce that name. You say Lawrence Opio of Migori. You say schedule. Schedule in British pronunciation. But in American and other regional varieties you'll hear of, schedule, and all that. But British, schedule. Then David Mutinda of Nairobi, you say wasp. Lennox Omar Moracha, Thierry Henri Machuka, and Isaac Ototo, all of St. Mary's Mosocho. Hey, you have big words, young men here. Ventriloquism, then ventriloquist, stegosaur, but remember the other word or the other name for stegosaur is also stegosaurus. Stegosaur or stegosaurus. Then we have kanja, and finally onomatopoeia. So Lennox, Thierry, and Isaac Ototo of St. Mary's Mosocho, I hope you've got those ones right. Johnson Mayenga of Nakuru, also big words. Vicissitude, cuisine, surfeit, and finally colloquialism. Colloquialism. Now Pacifica Kinuthia of Nakuru, you say prejudice. Don't say prejudice. Prejudice. And then your second word is entourage. Entourage. Don't say entourage. Nicole Oko and Lillian. Nicole Oko, the young girl. It is great when we realize that even those young girls are keen on good English. So Nicole, a pat on your back. Nicole Oko and Lillian, you say astronaut. For a person who is trained to travel in a spacecraft, you say astronaut. Don't say astronaut. Naut, no. Not. Astronaut. Then your second word is astronomer. Astronomer. Emily Nekesa, Banda of